I don't believe it. The first comment is "Go Cubs." Get out of here, Coleman, with that crap. This is Schmitty with Christian, and we're back with Skaters on Baseball. We got a lot to catch up on. Christian's back home where the Wi-Fi is complete full bars. Giants finally got a win after losing, 4 in a row. The big news, obviously, is Rafael Devers. I don't even think we did a Dodgers recap. And I just want to, before we even start, I want to give a, happy 75th birthday wish to my main man who signed this card 2 days ago, Dwayne Kuiper. That's right, kids. Dwayne turned 75 today. And this is one of my favorite baseball cards. Look at that bat. It's upside down and broken. Like this guy has liked to have fun his whole life. And tip of the hat to one of the best broadcasters in the biz. And on that same note, Robbie DeVille is having a big birthday bash this weekend. And apparently Eric and a bunch of guys from his show are coming to the game tomorrow night. So it's on. Red Sox, Giants, 3 games with Devers going up against Cora. Anything can happen. What do you think, Christian?
It's going to be interesting for sure. For all the hype, what I've been hearing the last couple of days, well, he's not a team guy, and a bunch of people that shouldn't even be talking about it, like Big Poppy, talking shit on Devers. And it's like, hey, you know what? The reality is the majority of the fan base is pissed off, not at him, but at the ownership. And he's going to be an impact player in San Francisco. It's their loss, so the series should be good. I think, I don't know. There might be a few Red Sox fans there, and they might make for some interesting dialogue. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Red Sox they have a good fan base in San Francisco. Every time they come here, there's a lot of jerseys in the stands. And like you said, there's a lot of smoke being thrown around with people's mouths. Even Glenn over there talking about the Giants being a mirage. The results are the results. And Rafael Devers you got Clayton Kershaw in the middle of the Dodger-Giants rivalry praising Rafael Devers as one of the top 10 hitters in all of baseball. What a great move Buster's making. This is unprecedented. When a Dodger is complimenting the Giants ownership during the game, I mean, that shows you the type of magnitude this has. He's not comfortable here yet. Obviously, it's been a whirlwind. He flew here Sunday or Monday, and they had the press conference. Then he's right into the lineup. And where's he going to play? DH? Is he taking grounders at first? Is he going to play third till Chapman gets back? There's all this craziness going on. But the one thing that we do know is we got a 3-hole hitter every day, every game. He's in there. And that's kind of the same thing, I think, with Adames and Chapman. For all the people that kind of hate on, these guys, it's like what you're not understanding is these guys are dependable in the field and health-wise to show up and compete day after day after day. And that's huge for a team that was doing so much platooning and swapping and all that stuff. But I haven't been this excited about Giants baseball in many years. I mean, I went to the first game, what was it? Monday night, right? Or was it Tuesday? I can't remember.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday. Okay. Yeah. So Tuesday night against Cleveland, right? And it's a full house. Are you kidding me? A full house on a Tuesday night?
On City Connect night, no less.
Against Cleveland. And the place is standing and going bananas. And the electricity in there, I swear, I was like, this is playoff atmosphere. This is crazy. And people are just like, Rafi, MVP, Jung-Hoo Lee. Like, just people, it was like, dude, we finally showed up. This is the crowd. Like, I was proud of the San Francisco crowd that night. And, we've been saying it for a while, right? Like, it's not going to just take one player. But in my mind, it did take one player to click a whole interest. It doesn't mean the team is in full throttle yet, but the interest and the vibe and the excitement on and off the field with the fans and the players, it's definitely to a next level. And what more can you ask from Buster? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you bring in a player of the caliber of Devers, like you're going to get the bandwagon people showing up too who want to see the show, just like when Bonds got signed in San Francisco. It's like people wanted to go out there just to see him hit home runs, you know? So there's that whole element that's not even, you know, the hardcore fans that are there day in and day out. But I think the reception for him was really good. And I was listening to some guys talk about it, and they were saying, like, look, you know, you go over to a new city, you've only ever known one franchise your whole career, and all of a sudden you get shipped out, you end up in a new city, and it takes a day or two before it really sinks in, like, wow, I'm not in Boston anymore. I'm in San Francisco. I'm in a hotel. My family's not here. Like oh, this is crazy. And so, you know, if he strikes out a few times and doesn't just come out on fire, like, nobody can blame him. You know, it's a big shock to the system and it's a big change. But I think that the culture of the Giants since Buster took over and the guys that they have in that clubhouse on this team are all good dudes, and they're going to make him feel welcome. And I think they're all going to click really well. And whatever drama there might have been in Boston ain't going to have that here, you know? And I do think, like you mentioned, Chapman and Adames and people being kind of down on him. It doesn't occur to people that those guys weren't getting too many good pitches to hit because there's no protection. Now you got protection, you know, and you can slide Devers into that 4-hole, and then it gets really crazy. And I think that's what eventually is going to happen, right?
I don't know. I like him in the 3-hole because it just makes sure he comes up the first inning, even if it's 1, 2, 3. But we'll see when Chapman gets back what they want to do. I'm hoping that Chapman ends up moving back to 5th.
Yeah.
And I'd kind of like to see Elliott somewhere in there, whether he's 3 or 4 or whatever. But yeah, the other thing that this trade does and did, as even today proved, was now we got a bench. You got Wilmer Flores coming off the bench, and who's more clutch than that guy? I know it's probably rubbing him wrong, but I don't think I'd rather have anybody on the bench than Wilmer. And since he's not really going to play DH unless Devers figures out a position to play, I'm thinking Wilmer on the bench is great because he can come in every game in the late innings and do what he did today, a clutch hit to take the lead and give Logan Webb a well-deserved win. God damn, we're pulling our hair out watching this guy pitch and they can't score for him. So a lot of good, and there's better to come for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, what, that double that Devers hit, 111 miles an hour off the bat. I mean, come on, dude. That's murdering. It's amazing the skin was still on it by the time it found the grass. So it's an exciting time. I think that I think this was one of the most shocking trades in recent history in all of baseball, right? I mean, well before the deadline, a huge trade, and nobody saw it coming, which is great because, like, how Kershaw reacted, some of these other people reacted to it was just like, oh shit, you know, this is like solidifying NL West even more and making the contenders even tougher, and it's a good one. You know, Devers is like the RBI leader for the league for the past 5 years. I think he's got more RBIs in the last 5 seasons than anybody else. So there you go. There you go.
Yeah. Well, I want to also give a quick shout out. Roger Chen. This guy's bumping shoulders with me quite often down in the pit when we're getting autographs. Good to see you. I think this is your first time at least leaving a comment. So thanks for joining the show, and I'll see you in the pit, bro. Yeah. So what are you thinking? With this lineup, the big question I think is going to be the consistency up front, because they've already had Jung-Hoo lead off, Ramos lead off, and today they had Yaz lead off. And for me, just like everybody keeps saying, and we've said it too here on the show, we love the consistency where you're going to go to the ballpark. You know, these guys are playing. There's no guessing who's going to be in. But I like to see the lineup get a little chemistry too. if you're going to have Yaz lead off, I think you have Yaz lead off. If Jung Hoo's going to lead off, have Jung Hoo lead off. But mixing it all the time, I don't think that equals stability. I think stability comes from people knowing their role and getting used to it.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of juggling the batting order on a daily basis and moving guys around. I mean, I think there was a little stretch a couple of weeks ago, or maybe about a month ago, where Melvin, he had been running the same batting order out pretty much day in and day out. And then all of a sudden he started moving pieces around, and they won a whole bunch of games in a row, and he kept juggling it. And so it was like, maybe he got too used to like, oh, this is the winning formula. Just keep moving guys around. But I feel like I don't like Yaz leading off. I don't like Ramos leading off. I want a speed guy up front. I mean, Yaz is fast. Okay. But Jung Hoo Lee is much faster. Right. So I think Lee should always be in the leadoff spot. I'm fine with Adames hitting second. Devers third is okay, but if he moves to the cleanup hole and you got Ramos hitting third, now it's like Ramos is going to get a ton of pitches to hit, right? Because they're going to be trying to make an out with him rather than, having to deal with Devers. And I think that's what always, when you have a big bat in the lineup, it's protection for the guy hitting ahead of him, right? And I think Ramos, we know what he's capable of if he can get consistent.
Yeah, I think that if Ramos is batting third and Devers is batting fourth, either way, have Ramos third or fourth and Rafael the other. Chapman goes back to fifth. That's already like a bonus. And then Yaz has been down in the 7 hole, and he's been hitting like a hitter. Like, he's not hitting for power anymore. He's just stroking the ball, laying drives. Right. You're like, where has this been? It's beautiful. And then, the thing that I was thinking about as we were about to come on to the show here today was like, what is Christian going to think now that Patrick Bailey's back? And we really want to know what's going on with Christian Cooper's backup catcher concern.
Well, Bailey tried to throw somebody out today. It didn't get him, right? The tag was just slightly too late. Is that what happened?
Yeah,
he threw somebody out yesterday.
Out 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah, he threw out a couple yesterday. Listen, Bailey's defense behind the plate is probably the best in the league, but the hitting is just not there. K Nizzle's got a home run. Logan Porter, I think, has got a home run.
Logan Porter's in Sacramento.
What are we talking about here? Yeah, they need to. Bailey really needs to get something accomplished.
Bailey has a home run.
Wise. Yeah, but he's just been really bad at the plate. And what's sometimes he comes up in situations like today. He laid down a sacrifice bunt. Great, okay, but like a lot of times he's just hacking and swinging and missing, striking out or popping out, and it's like, you got to do better, man. I mean, Buster wasn't like a 365 hitter, but he hit, right? And so that should be the archetype for the catchers. Like, yeah, you got the greatest defense in the league. You still got to back it up with your bat a little bit. I don't want to see guys that hit, 179. Just doesn't work.
So your backup catcher concern is more about the starting catcher. It sounds
like. It is right now.
Huh. I'm happy to see him back because it wasn't working. It was not working with 2 backup catchers, and he already got 2 hits his first game back. So I was like, okay, maybe his sore neck was actually affecting him before he called it out, because these guys play through injuries and stuff. So he definitely was not himself. Last year, he started out way better than he did this year, and then he faded off due to whatever, pacing himself or conditioning or whatever it may be. But I'm hyped to see the guy behind the plate. I love him throwing people out, and I think his hitting's going to come around. And I'm okay. I've said this before. I'm okay with one guy on the team being a defensive stud and not doing it with the bat. And so if we got 8 hitters, I'm fine with Bailey being the not so great hitter. but that means that everybody else has to step up, including Adames. I think if Adames and the second baseman are hitting, nobody's really looking at Bailey as much. It's just one. I mean, Johnny
Right.
Lemaster, we've had an out in the lineup our entire life,
Right.
but this guy is so next level defensively that I don't think he's going anywhere, and I wouldn't want him to.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's fine if you're talking about one guy who's an out in the batting order. Unfortunately, it's been 3 consistently for the last little while. It's been Fitzgerald, it's been Adames, I hate to say it, and it's been Bailey, And I really think part of Bailey's problem is this switch hitting thing. I don't know how
Agreed.
I don't know how anybody's going to get around it, but I think what's happening is that it's splitting his focus and splitting his attention with these at bats. The splits from one side or the other. So Adames will come around. I thought it was starting to crack off in Colorado and LA, and then he kind of went into a little mini slump again, but I'm not worried about that. Chapman coming back is going to be huge. Once they get Chapman back, because then it frees up, they can move Schmidt around. He can play first, he can play second. I'm okay with Dom Smith being over there, but I need to see a little more production out of him. The defense is solid, not stellar. And he's got some power, but he's got to get more hits.
I think Dom's the best first baseman we got on the team defensively, and Schmidt is going to play second base as long as Fitzgerald's batting the way he is. It's just a bummer to see.
Yeah, he's hitting, right? He had two hits today. So I mean, there was all this beef the other night about why is Schmidt batting in this situation when it should be somebody else, and it's like, hey, the guy's been swinging a bat. He has been getting some hits, so. And I think Casey will do better the more reps he gets. He's had so many. Yeah, it's not well.
What's going on with the ICE down there in Chavez latrine?
Yeah, it depends on what how you define Dodger fans. Because if you're talking about the 18th Street, white fences, all these gangs down here, that's what they're looking for is those people.
Oh, they're cleaning up the gangs.
They're trying to, yeah.
So they're trying to get me to go to a Dodger game. They want to make it a safe place down there.
Yeah, they need your money. The Guggenheims just bought the Lakers. They need money bad. You heard about that deal, right?
No.
$10 billion for the Los Angeles Lakers, the Guggenheim group.
Yeah. That's just so Magic Johnson can float around from Dodger Stadium to wherever the Lakers play. God, that's a horrible situation.
The crypto.com arena.
Yeah. What happened to the Forum? That was such a classic.
The Forum's
place.
Still sitting there. They have concerts there every once in a while.
Yeah, bring it back.
SoFi is just a couple blocks away, and then the new Intuit Dome where the Clippers play now, which is cool.
What's cool is there's no magic in SF. It's not luck, and there's no magic. It's just baseball. That's right, Glenn. I said it. If we're talking about Casey Schmidt and these guys over on the other, I don't even know what the show's called. I get them all mixed up, but Dan and Lou's project over there, and I can't believe how much those guys go out of their way to make Casey this god type thing. It's like, oh yeah, he messed up because this, and they're really defending the guy. They think that their word is going to keep him in the lineup. It's like, dude, if he plays great, cool. If he doesn't play great, just own it. But all these excuses and pointing the finger elsewhere and avoiding the Casey, I know that they've had him on the show, but it's wild, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Those guys have this weird little incestuous different channels that they all sort of participate in,
I know we never get invited to the Sunday night brunch club or whatever it's called.
There's the Hot Corner, the NorCal Sports Talk Network, Giants Sports Talk Live. They got all that, I jumped on in an audio the other day right after the Devers signing just to shoot the shit with Glenn and Eric. And the first thing I said was I need to see Glenn smile.
Oh, good
And it
luck.
was like he gave us a forced grin.
Man,
But
talk
yeah,
about Debbie Downer.
those guys, I don't want to talk shit on anybody because I like all those guys.
I
We're
do.
friendly
Bring
with
it.
them.
I'm pissed.
They're cool, but like, I just don't get they're looking for the problem. They're always
Mhm.
looking for the problem. They're always trying to like dig up the skeletons. And it's just like, you know what? The team's running good. We're still what, 8 or 9 over 500. Like, why so serious? Why
Mm.
so serious? Like, come on.
Maybe
And
they grew up watching Ray Ratto.
well, no, listen. I mean, I'm old, I'm turning 60 this year. I suffered through the 70s Giants and the 80s Giants. I know how bad it can get.
Yeah.
If anybody out there thinks this is bad, you ain't lived long enough, or you got really short-term memory, right?
It's
You know,
100%.
and I mean the Farhan years, yeah, they're terrible, right? But like, you don't have to go back that far to find something far worse in terms of the record and the quality of baseball being played in San Francisco. Like, it's a whole different deal. And I just Buster's bringing back the prestige, man. That's what
Yeah.
it is. And if you can't get hyped about that, keep complaining. We're all going to be enjoying it, And that's the way I look at it.
Look at this. Yeah, he looks great, doesn't he? This guy's on the treadmill for about 3 hours every morning before he gets anything started. So
I wish it
look
was
out.
3
And then he
hours.
goes to the pump trap for like 2.5 hours. You should see his calves just.
I wish. They're going to get scrawny when I get my knees fixed, but
You're my opinion. Anthony, you got to just breathe and type in sentences that we can understand. Your my opinion doesn't work for me. I don't know what that is. I think it's just instant gratification culture.
yeah.
I don't know what that means. Can you help me?
I think what Anthony's referring to is people just need like instant success from everything, instant satisfaction from everything, and they're just bummed. Like, what do you mean my Uber's not here yet? What do you mean my Domino's pizza is more than 30 minutes late? The world is ending.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like people's attention spans are short. Look, baseball season, 162 games. You got to be a real fan of the game to hang in there and pay attention the entire time. Like, I'm dialed in all year, all season long. I'm paying attention every single day, just because that's how much I love the game. And it's a long slog. You got to have patience. You got to roll with the punches. But I guess I'm just old and I can actually hang in there.
Well, a lot to talk about. The Dodgers series, I think, was frustrating in a lot of ways because we came out Friday night and we just, Logan Webb 2 hit him. I think it was a great game.
Yep.
It showed the power of good pitching. We barely squeaked by the runs, but we did get the win. And then something happens where Roop just doesn't show up and the Dodgers completely do, and we get smoked Saturday night. You're blaming ESPN, I think, because we never play good on those.
Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but Sunday we lost by 1 run. And I really think, like, look at this. We got to talk about Kyle Harrison. The guy's in the bullpen 30 minutes before the game, warming up to pitch in Dodger Stadium as a Giant. This kid grew up in the Bay Area. He knows the rivalry, the importance. And then all of a sudden somebody's like, hey, coach wants to see you. And that's impressive. They're like, coach wants to see me. I'm warming up for the game. It's like, okay. And then, dude, you're traded. And then they just throw in Jelly like last minute as a starter. So think about that as the way to start the game. And then we lose by, I think, 1 run. But with the news of the savior's coming, Rafael Devers, we got him. So I've never seen the Giants lose to a Dodgers. Like, I've never seen a loss to a Dodger, a game like that, where I was like, oh, well, Like, I was
Yeah,
so hyped that we got Devers that I took the loss against the Dodgers. Like, that's cool. We'll get him next time.
yeah.
And usually I'm furious.
I kind of had that feeling too, just because it was such a huge impact deal, and that's the thing. Like the way trades are made, it's like the second that they agree, like we don't want that guy cutting his toenails. We don't want him stepping into the shower, nothing. Because if he gets hurt, we're
Totally.
screwed, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna actually, like if you ever been in the hospital and when you're getting discharged, like they won't let you walk out on your own. You got to sit in a wheelchair and be taken out to the curb, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like that. It's like, hey, you're out of here, but listen, we got to make sure that you make it out in one piece. We don't want to be liable for anything. So yeah, it was a little awkward. And when I found out Jelly was doing a spot start, I was like, oh, this could be horrible. And he actually wasn't bad.
He pitched good, actually.
Pitched,
3.5 innings.
He pitched pretty well. So I hate it every time the Giants are on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball because their record is terrible on that particular venue. And the ESPN announcers just swing from the Dodger nuts. Like a pendulum.
Horrible.
Yeah, I mean they had Adames mic'd up and they didn't even really ask him any like intelligent questions. It's like, why bother? Right? Oh, but we got Kershaw in the dugout. Let's milk that for all it's worth. Totally. Yeah. The Yankees and the Dodgers, and that's like the big network stuff. Like that's all they care about, You could be 20 games over 500, just killing your division, and you get on ESPN on Sunday night, and they're like, "Yeah, but you're playing the Yankees, so we're going to give them all the love." Whatever.
Yeah, they should ask him why so sucky is so sucky, and he's not going to pitch. He's not even going to throw. Poor little Sasaki, he can't pitch. Oh no! And Glass arm turned to glass, and the Dodgers, poof. But they're winning, so we need to say yay. And Shohei's pitching, but he sucks, and
he did suck too. He really sucked.
What was it, like 40 pitches in one inning? And
40 pitches, 1 inning, gave up a run. His ERA is 9.
Robbie Rothberg in this house. How you doing, Robbie? How you feeling about this Devers situation?
This is our positive pal right here. I love it.
What's up with Anthony? Is he doubting Devers? Is this we'll see with Devers? Like, are you thinking like this maybe wasn't a good deal? Because there's some people out there that are like, we'll see. He's a little out of shape. He can't play defense, yada, yada, yada. He's not a team player, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, you guys are crazy. Like, we have been dying for this type of hitter, and we've tried year after year after year after year to get one, and we couldn't. And now we have one, and people want to be like, yeah, but he can't play third base. We got Chapman. Yeah, but he can't play first base. We got a first baseman, and we got another one coming. We got plenty of defense. We got plenty of pitching. We need a bat, and this guy's a bat.
Yeah, he's a big bat, and people say, "Oh, it's cost too much money." I think I don't care about any of that. Like money. Yeah, exactly. Well, it is when the ticket prices go through the roof. But hey,
they won't.
Here's the thing. I don't know if you saw any of this, but the absolute bittersons out there posting the Devers panda memes. Did you see any of that?
No.
They're like, here's Devers in his new uniform, and they had pictures of Sandoval at his most overweight in a Giants uniform and photoshopping Devers' face on it and all stuff. And it's just, it's just a bunch of bitter ass Red Sox fans.
God.
Oh man, the Giants really hung one on us with that guy. And then now they get our guy and we'll just make fun of him. It's like, no, you guys were all, he's not a team guy and this and that. And he should play first base because Casas went down and what a jerk. And then like, now he's gone and you're all, yeah.
I mean, Devers, this is he's in his prime. This is the best year he's ever had, and we get him. this is much different than Pablo, whose weight was fluctuating all the time, and he had a legitimate issue with weight problems, and people making fun of that. It's kind of like making fun of people that, have mental disorders or other whatever problems people have. It's like this wasn't something he was intentionally doing. It was just a tough thing for him. But I don't think that Devers is on that same track, and I think that he's already got all-stars, he's already got silver sluggers, and he's one of the best hitters in all of baseball. Top 10.
Yeah.
What
So
do you
listen,
want?
yeah, what D Boggs is saying. Okay, well, do you know what happened with Boston? Like, it's not. I think a lot of people. It depends on what you read and who you listen to, but like the reality of that situation in Boston was they felt like Devers' defense was not what they expected. So they just went out and got Bregman because he was a big, pretty good player, free agent, right? They go out, they get him. They don't talk to Devers at all, and then they just tell him like, "Well, you're the DH now." This guy's used to be an on the field position player. He's getting the attention from the fans on both sides of the ball. They never really talked to him about it. They just told him that, and then he's like, "Okay, fine. I'm the DH." He goes into that role. He does it, and then Casas gets hurt, and they tell him, "Well, you're going to play first base now." Wait a minute. First of all, I'm not a first baseman. Second of all, you didn't want me playing in the field, but now because you're desperate and you don't have a guy at first, you want to just stick me over there? Like, oh, and apparently ownership wasn't talking to him and nobody was communicating. And so, they hung it all on him. And what I've heard, what sounds most logical and makes the most sense, is that ownership just really wanted to like dump that contract off, right? And they saw an opportunity by sort of pissing him off and disrespecting him that it would be totally easy to get rid of him, and they could make him the scapegoat. And the reality is like, dude, we'll take him all day long, and he ain't going to be a clubhouse cancer. He's not going to be a problem in San Francisco. I mean, the guy had his the press conference, right? And he said like, "I'm here to do whatever they need me to do. They want me to play first base, I play first base. They want me to play third base, I play third base. They want me to DH, I DH."
Yeah.
So I don't think the problem was him.
Well, let me break it down for all you Giants fans. I'm going to make this real simple for you guys. Remember what Farhan did to Crawford? It's the exact same thing. Crawford didn't want to come for the Willie Mack Award. He didn't want to do anything for the Giants after he was disrespected the way he was. And that's what happened to Devers. Devers was the last guy on the World Series team. He was a staple and one of the best players on the team. He had his jersey on most backs in the stadium. People loved him. And he was like a Barry Bonds type guy where he was sending people home happy with his bat. Then all of a sudden, they just get a guy who plays better defense than he does at his own position, much like the Carlos Correa situation that almost happened here without the phone call. It's fine to do that to try to get a better team, but you call your star and you tell him what's going on. He doesn't read it in the newspaper. He doesn't get it on Twitter. Like, you got to have these communications, and people need to understand that all people want is a little communication, and that can go a long way. And the Giants are the type of team that are going to continue to communicate, and Buster is a players type owner, and he's going to make sure that all these type of things work out the way he would want to see it done as a player. And that's why you're going to see Crawford come back eventually, because he respects Buster and they respect Crawford. And I think that Devers is going to fit in great with Willie Adames, Elliot Ramos. He's got the Dominican flavor, and some of these guys already here, and there's youth coming up from the Dominican. I think it's going to be this real strength for that community. And I'm just excited about it. And every time there's something to get excited about, and then somebody says, "Yeah, but," and then throws in this like sliver of a negativity and this huge pie of awesome, I'm just like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, it's strange. And see, the interesting thing is I don't think Buster's done.
Nope.
I think something else big is going to happen before the deadline. I don't know what it is. it would be impossible to predict at this point. But I feel like they got this one done early, so then they can focus on what the next acquisition is going to be. There's none of this trying to juggle like a superstar and some kind of a modest improvement to the roster at the deadline. Now all they got to worry about is the next move, And hey, shots were fired, right? You go out and you trade for that guy, that shot's fired.
And we haven't even talked about the team that's coming into play in Oracle this weekend. I mean, the timing on this is insane, isn't it?
Perfect.
It's like perfect. It wrote itself. It's like, here come the Red Sox. Here comes Cora in the news saying, yeah, it's going to be awkward.
Yeah.
Must see TV, baby.
And I'm sure the Giants aren't feeling like it's going to be awkward. The Giants are feeling like this is going to be a lot of fun. It's Boston who's feeling all the awkwardness, right?
Yeah.
So, it's interesting. Like, I think that when you look back at the championships, 2010, 2012, 2014, Sabine was in there running things. And like, I think there was a lot of respect and a lot of admiration given to the players that were in the organization through those years, where guys felt like, man, I'm never going to get disrespected by this organization. I'm going to be treated really well. I'm going to play my ass off for these fans and this team. And I think that the culture was really positive, and then years down the road, you got Farhan and all these other jerk offs in there. And it's like, I think a lot of the players did feel disrespected. I mean, certainly like when they sent Doval down to sack last year, like, okay, yeah, he was having a terrible year, but man,
and Tyro,
dude's been an all-star. He's been a premier closer in the game. And then all of a sudden it's like he hits a long bad patch. And it's like, that's your option. You're just going to send him to sack. Like, and it didn't improve him. When he came back up, it didn't really fix anything. So, that's a bummer when people get treated that way. Right. Like, I mean, with Wade, rather than keep him around and have everybody grumble about him and go, oh, Wade fucking sucks. He's only hitting $150 and oh, this guy's terrible. I never liked him. And they just they DFA'd him. They moved him. He signed with the Angels. He's got a place to be. He doesn't have to sit there and suffer the ire of the fans who don't appreciate anything he did before. Right. And Wade was a big contributor to this team. Right. So, there's a way of treating guys that's proper. And if you do that, you have more of an opportunity to win. That's the way I feel about it.
Well, I think this is interesting. Anthony has a real good one. What if, just despite the Red Sox, that they put Devers at first base?
I've
tomorrow,
heard this
tomorrow night.
I've heard this proposed by a couple of different people, like just to fuck with them.
It would be great. That's a great idea. Yeah. I mean, they're not going to do it unless he's ready, though. They're not playing games the Giants have no interest in insulting the Red Sox, but they might have interest in like stoking out their new guy. We'll see how this all unravels, but that's an interesting take right there. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, it would be the most awesome tit for tat thing ever in baseball. But the reality is the Giants just need to be winning ball games, and don't give any gas to the fire of another team. We saw that in 2002, right? You steam up the other team a little bit, you could have a real problem on your hands. So the Giants need to do really well against the Red Sox. I would love to see a sweep. I think it's possible. I think that there's going to be some. I mean, look, the next game after the trade, the Red Sox got blanked 8-0. Right.
Well, as long as the Red Sox don't start a lefty, which they're not gonna, we have a good chance. I don't know what the hell is going on with this problem against lefties. It makes no sense to me, but it's obviously a thing at this point. It is crazy. I mean, they made Kershaw look like a Cy Young. Then they made the guy last night look like a Cy Young. It's just like, throw a lefty against the Giants. That should be the headlines going around the world. Like, these guys can't hit left-handed pitching for whatever reason. It's crazy.
It's Patrick Bailey's fault.
Oh, really?
Well, because he faces lefties from the right side, and his right side numbers are terrible, and it's some kind of contagion that spreads. No, I'm just kidding.
I thought we
Conspiracy
had
theory.
something, but no.
No.
I think it just you don't see lefties as much as you do righties, but we've seen them enough, and to have the consistency of inconsistency that they have, it's crazy. They got to change that. But
Yep.
let's talk about your little banner down here, because it's been driving us crazy for at least a year and a half, probably longer. But these goddamn left on base situations, we hope that Devers is going to help this problem, but these guys cannot hit with runners in scoring position, and it is tough to watch, especially when there's man at first and second when no outs and they hit into a double play. Like the things that they were doing, Casey Schmidt getting tossed out at second with the fly ball to the left, not necessarily his fault. It was a tough play, but they just the luck for using, I'm going to use a word that they use on the other show quite often, which is luck. The Giants are very unlucky when it comes to runners in scoring position. They tend to hit ground ball, double plays. They get doubled off doing weird, Fitzgerald gets picked off at first, like all kinds of random stuff's going on when there's runners in scoring position. It's like the baseball gods are saying, you will not score. You already have great pitching. You cannot score. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's I mean, listen, the Giants had about a 2-week stretch of the most atrocious base running since the worst base running in the history of the game.
I'll be there, Robbie.
John Miller call. But yeah, the runners in scoring position, what were they, 1 for 13 yesterday? And I mean, this has been a theme, not just this year, but going back about, even to 2021, where it was like they hit a ton of home runs. They didn't hit much with runners in scoring position. It just wasn't their thing. And so that is fundamental baseball. Keep the line moving, push the guys up. Like once you get a guy on second or third, like, listen, you got the Giants last year and the year before could have the bases loaded with no outs. I can't even remember how many times and not score a single run, right? It was like kryptonite. And so this year, yeah, it's a bad trend that they're just, guys are getting stranded, and then, especially runners in scoring position, they can have a guy as second with no outs and never get him over. And it's just like, come on, like high schoolers can do that. So I don't know what the issue is. I don't know if guys are trying too hard. I mean, sometimes it's just as simple as putting the ball in play. Just don't hit a grounder on the infield. I mean, Kruko likes to say like, well, put the ball in play, good things happen. Well, it does, but you got to put it in play well. You can't put it in play like a pop-up, right? That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I was going to say, what's his name over here? D-Boggs is saying, bring in Will the Thrill. But let me tell you, I was out at the game the other night, and I was on the field for the first batting practice of Rafael Devers. And Will the Thrill wasn't there, but Barry Bonds sure was. Look how close he is to, that's Devers in the box, and that's Bonds like overlooking him, watching how he hits. I love seeing that. That's the GOAT right there with our new guy. And it's his first day. They're not like, well, let's get him comfortable. Nope. Bonds is here right now. Like, it's like, whoa.
Now, I don't know what you saw, but I've heard from some people that he didn't really even talk to Bonds, that Bonds was just out there eyeballing him. Like,
he was very nervous.
Trying to let him know, like, I'm here,
Well, he said he was such a fan of Barry that he didn't, like, he was just nervous and he didn't want to, like, it wasn't comfortable for him just to
fanned out on him. He was like,
dude, I mean, yeah. So, and I understand Barry's got a presence. Let me tell you, like, when you see him, you're like, oh, Barry, like, it's not like every other player. So, but yeah, we got great players. I'm sure JT Snow's going to show up here and there to take ground balls at first with these guys that are learning the base better. I'm happy with Dominic Smith at first base, though. I like his attitude, and
I do too.
His bat seems like it's more consistent hitting. Even if it gets out, he's hitting the ball and not striking out as much. There just seems to be this, like, I don't know, the old lineup just feels stale when you see that old lineup and you're like, oh, these guys can't do it. And then you see a couple new guys and you're like, this is all new. I think we can do it. It's just mental.
Yeah, yeah. So Daniel, I have a feeling that the next move that the Giants make at or before the deadline is going to be for one of those sort of underestimated bat type guys like Cody Ross or like Freddie Sanchez or Scudero. I think that's what they're going to be shopping for, and they might already be shopping for that now, is somebody who's just good bat to ball skills, good at just hitting,
So you'd rather have the second baseman that hits than a starting pitcher?
I just want somebody who hits, period. I want that sort of X factor, guy that comes in and kind of shocks everybody, because it's just, they just put their head down and go to work. I mean, we got Wisenhunt in Sacramento, right? I mean, this is the elephant in the room is Verlander.
That's like Bryce Eldridge. Like, everybody's got to relax.
I know.
This guy's never pitched in the pros, and all of a sudden he's a Cy Young. No.
All I'm saying is I think it's a thing with Verlander now, and I wonder if it's ever going to get remedied, because it just hasn't. I mean, he's pitched well enough to have wins, and he's gotten screwed by the bullpen, or he's gotten no run support, but he's also had some outings where he just didn't have it, and he comes back from the injury, and it's like he coughs up a 4 spot. I mean, I don't know what's going on there, but I'm not confident that he's going to be in the starting rotation 2 months from now.
I think the only way he's not is if he gets hurt. I think that he's here to be a leader, and the Giants just have to score for him. Even 4 runs is ridiculous. It's 4 runs used to be like the norm. Like, you got to score for these guys. Like, they can't just. Verlander's gave up 2 runs, 1 run. Like, he's never won a game, and hasn't pitched that bad. And they need to get the monkey off his back, and then things will start to be more comfortable. It's the same thing with Adames hitting. Like, he's got to just start hitting and get comfortable, and then it will continue. But there's so much pressure to break that barrier that these guys overdo it. And I think it's definitely a thing for Verlander at this point. He's been a real pro, though. I got to give him credit. He's doing every game post interview and owning it, and just talking like no blame, no pointing fingers, no talking about, well, they didn't score any runs. There's a lot of stuff probably in his head that he wants to say, but he doesn't. I tip my hat to that. I've never really got to see a lot of Verlander, and what I've seen so far, I think he's a pretty respectable guy.
No, I think he's a class act, and he should be, dude. He's first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, look at he's got rings, so I feel like he's handling it all the right way, and it's a tough situation. But what I wonder about is, like, at some point, it's like, if he just isn't going to get it done, what do you do? I mean, they dealt Harrison, which is I'm totally fine with. I love Kyle Harrison, but like, I just don't feel like he was going to be the biggest contributor to whatever success they're going to have this year. And that they've got guys that they have confidence in. I think Roop needs to step it up a notch. I feel like Birdsong has been getting a little better and a little better as we go along. Robbie Ray's had his last 2 starts haven't been great like all the other ones before, but there's nothing that looks to be of any great concern with him. It's maybe a little fatigue. Maybe the All-Star break is going to help out with that a little bit. And it'll just, I think generally guys start to get a little tired right before the All-Star break. You kind of see the fatigue set in, and then they get those days off and things kind of bounce back. But yeah, that being said, like a starting pitcher, I don't know. Who do you try to get? I mean, do you go
journeyman that's probably like a 1-year guy that's like a John Gray or somebody that's just, he's going to give you a real good outing every time he goes out. Maybe Marquez. There's so many guys that could just be like your number 4 or 5 star. The problem,
not Marquez. No,
you never know. New environment.
Marquez. Dude,
You never know.
his ERA was like
He pitches
14
in
or something.
Colorado, bro. Come on.
I don't care though. It's just
Well,
doesn't,
you should go to a Rockies game. There's a lot of home runs hit there. But my point is that these guys are going to run out of innings. You
Yep.
like Roop is not going to finish the year. Verlander has a way better chance of finishing the year than Birdsong and Roop. These guys have never thrown that many innings. So the second half is kind of scary. And I think they got Robbie Ray and Webb for sure. They need a third guy and hopefully Verlander. And then they can have Roop, Birdsong, Wizenhunt, Keaton Wynn. They can start playing the 5-game shuffle where whoever has enough strength left is going to be in there, because I think it's going to be real telling at the end of the year. And this is what I'm scared about with the Dodgers. The Dodgers are saving all their bullets for the end of the year because all their guys haven't even pitched. So once they come back and they're healthy, like Snell's about to come back, and some of these guys are about to come back, they're going to be fresh for the second half, where our guys are going to be running out of gas. Webb, unless he gets hurt, is golden. We know that. But I would really like to see a veteran pitcher come in added to this squad. Just somebody, and maybe Marquez is the wrong name, but you hear the names like John Gray and these different guys, but mostly it's going to be from a team that's out of it.
Well, that's
And
what
Zach
we should.
Eflin from Baltimore. There's a lot of guys that might be available. They're all going to be better than what we have at the end of the year down in the 4 or 5 slot, I think.
Okay, so let's talk about, what do you give up for who? I mean, can you move Luciano? Does he have any value in a trade to get a pitcher? I mean,
yeah, I think so. I think you can move Luciano for somebody that's like, a 1-year guy that's at the end of, like, look, in July, your team's out of it, and this guy is not going to be on your team next year. So basically, you're trying to get anything because you're going to not get anything at the end of the year. So you have like more leverage being the Giants going like, hey, we'll throw Luciano with some prospect from single A that looks like he's going to be pretty great or something, but he's not our top guy from down there or whatever. And you can get a pretty good pitcher. They do it every year. Pitching it just seems much easier to get than bats.
Yeah. The two guys I don't want to see him deal is McRae and Matos. Like I want them to keep those guys in the organization. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
I think it would be way further down. I think it's like double A, single A guys. I think it's guys that like have way more potential, like how Tibbs went. People are loving, like, Tibbs is good and he's going to be pretty good. And in 5 years, maybe he's great. We don't know. But right now we got Devers. And for me, in 5 years, if Tibbs is great, I want right now.
Yeah.
In 5 years, Logan Webb's not going to be great. Our pitching is good right now, and we can't guarantee that in 5 years. So we're playing for now. We got Eldridge hopefully ready to play next year. So this team is getting built for next year. But all of a sudden this year, we're like, hey, wait a minute. We're not throwing the white flag in this year. We're going like, so. And I love Buster's thing on the radio. It's time to go. And this guy is a dude. That was my favorite. He's like, this is a dude. It was like, yes.
Yeah. It's good stuff. So yeah, maybe it's basically like going and looking at the seller teams and going like, okay, who do they have and who can we get and what are we willing to give up for it? Like, is Alcantara available? I imagine that the Dodgers are going to be hot and heavy trying to pick up pitchers before the deadline, just because everybody they have is made of glass. These guys are just breaking. And
look, Zach Gallen might be available. Like, those kind of guys could be available because it's the end of their contract.
Yep.
So even if the Giants get them for the last 2 or 3 months, the Diamondbacks can get them again if they want them. But they will have got Luciano or whoever we give them. So it's kind of like a benefit for teams that are falling out. And that equals a lot of teams, you know. I mean, it could even be the Cardinals, the Reds, the Nationals, the Marlins, uh, you know, Diamondbacks. Maybe they're just hanging on, but they have 3 teams ahead of them. So we'll see. I mean, these are just ideas, but the thing about getting the bat, if we're going back to that, for me is it can't just be a bat. It has to be a bat in the right position because we can't have another DH. We got like 15 guys that can't play in the field. We don't need any more of those guys. We need a second baseman, a better than Dominic Smith first baseman, or a better than Yaz right fielder. And that's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Of course, it would cost more than Luciano, but we could package a deal with Luciano possibly, right? And who cares about Luciano anyway? Like, it's not about
He's got to
Luciano, it's
go.
about getting our guy. Yeah, but the thing that bothers me with all these trade ideas, people just continue this craziness of saying, I want gold for shit. Like, you can't, you have to give something up to get something. It's never going to be like, here, take all the shit we don't want and we want your best thing. That's not how trading works. So let's just get over that notion. It drives me crazy. Will they take Luciano and Jelly and Johnny LeMaster at third base coach? No, of course not.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I think we can agree, like we definitely could use a good starting arm, right? Rotation arm at the deadline more than a bat to an extent. Second base suddenly has become kind of weird. Yeah, exactly. Dangling turkey.
Ibrahim, I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. High five Robbie's thing at the Red Sox game. Hyped to do that. Hyped to see you guys. Yeah, but no, back to what you were saying. I think we need a starting pitcher, but I also think we need a bat. And if they could get both, hell yeah, right? And I don't know which one's more important. I was playing devil's advocate because you were saying bat. So I'm saying, well, we could use a starting pitcher too. I don't know exact. I think both of them are close to the same.
Yeah, it's kind of a balancing act. You know, here's look,
Murphy.
Yeah, I just saw that. Who? What?
Listen, of catcher concern.
If this current rotation can get them to the wild card, okay, if they can get them to the postseason, everybody shifts into 3-man rotation mode. At that point, you got Webb, you got Ray, and if Verlander is still a part of this mix, he's got the playoff experience, right?
For sure. We got to get there.
He knows how to pitch on that stage. So, like, really, you could kind of make it to the postseason without acquiring another starting arm, but it's a good idea, right?
Well, but we have to get there. I don't know that we get there necessarily without another starting arm. Yeah, once we get there, we don't need the starting arm, but we need to get there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's close. Right now, we're 4 games back. Padres are 6 games back, and Diamondbacks are 8.5. So,
yeah. This is the name I keep landing on. But
yeah, it's been the one we all talk about because he's on Miami. And it's funny because Miami's coming in after the Red Sox. And I was looking at the team because I like to get autographs. So I'm like, which cards do I have? Alcantara is the only name on the whole team that I really recognize. It's like that team is not like, I don't know. What year was it? 2006? What year did they win the World Series? It was in the
2003, I think.
Yeah. And
you got to go back pretty far.
Yeah. But I mean, geez, they sold the whole team the next. It's just
it's the ownership. It's kind of like Fisher or Moreno. These guys that just don't care about fielding a winning team. All they care about is the bottom line and the profit that they're going to make. I mean, at one point they were trying to turn their stadium into a nightclub. Like basically every night after the game, it was like some crazy like discotheque insanity with the terrible art and all that, all of it. So look,
let's look at his numbers though.
Well, he's coming back from Tommy John, so he's not like,
yeah, that's what scares me. But I mean, we need him this year if we're going to get him this year, right?
Yeah.
So This year, 3-8, 6.88 ERA, 14 games, 68 innings pitched, 55 strikeouts. I mean, I know people are going to say, "Oh, he needs a new atmosphere," right? But he's not the Alcantara we knew
great.
him to be. Yeah,
it's not great, but the potential is there. And you know what? What pitcher isn't coming off of Tommy John anymore, right? Almost every single pitcher in the major leagues has gone through it at least once. You know,
it seems that way.
I mean, it's like I had heard it was 5 or 6 years ago. These guys were talking about how they would give like college kids would have a Tommy John preemptively, like to strengthen the ligament. Like what kind of you don't need the surgery, but we're going to have you have the surgery so that you hopefully won't have to have the surgery a second time. I mean,
like Ohtani.
Yeah, nuts, right? So, and I have a feeling that Ohtani's arm is just going to like shatter in a million pieces at some point. He pitches too many more times.
What do you think of Mackenzie Gore though over at Washington? That wouldn't be too bad either.
Yeah.
You know, bringing Mackenzie Gore, he's a lefty, and I think he could really help the squad out a lot. I don't know. I don't know who's available and what people want at that stage, but you know, I've heard everything from the Diamondbacks are going to start shopping all their guys. Like, you know, who was it? Suarez and somebody else they were talking about. I'm like, really? Already? They're white flagging it? Like, whoa. So we'll just see.
I think the Diamondbacks are looking at the writing on the wall and realizing like it's a tough climb if you have
Corbin
to go
Burns freaked them out.
Well, yeah, dude, it's a tough climb if you have to go through the San Diego Padres, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and especially the San Francisco Giants. You have to get through all three of those teams to even get there. Ain't happening. And I think they know that. And with the Burns thing, man, they screwed the pooch on that one, didn't they?
You know, we you know, a lot of people were saying Giants blew it. They should have got Burns. Where are those people now? Because all that I told you so people, there's so many people that love to say I told you so, but nobody wants to just live in the moment and say this is going on and I'm fired up about it. It's like, nope, tomorrow's gonna suck. Watch. Next week's gonna rule because this. It's like, what about today ruled? We beat the Guardians. We got an epic hitter, and we're going to play his team that he was on a week ago. Like, you can't ask for something better than at our home stadium. Let's go.
Right. And think about this for a minute. Remember all the Corbin Burns static was going on, and Buster Posey's in the foxhole going pew, 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 as the bullets are flying by. Right? I mean, dude.
Oh, did someone say Sasaki?
That's good.
Oh, Conforto?
Yeah, but we knew he wasn't good. Everybody thought Burns was going to be great, you know.
Dude.
So shit happens, man. But I said it. I think it was like the end of last year or in the off season. I said like his velocity's been down. He's getting up there in age. I don't know that this is necessarily the best thing to do. And clearly I made a good guess. I'm not going to say that I knew, but just felt like wasn't the right thing. So look, we are who we are. We got the guys that we got. We got fucking Rafael Devers, man. Yeah. Oh, coulda, woulda, shoulda. No, we got that dude right now. I mean, didn't you almost not believe it when you heard it?
No, I did not believe it, like for a while. And then they started like Kruk and Kuiper talking about it. I was like, I'm waiting until they put the jersey out and say he's number 16 and they put it on, because we've seen Correa, we've seen Arson, we've seen all these smoke signals. And I just was like, I gotta wait. I gotta be patient. And here's what I'm doing. I'm announcing this right now, guys. I told Christian I'd announce it, and I'm doing it right now. 5:36 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The moment that Rafael Devers hits his first splash hit, I'm buying his jersey that day.
Oh, now it's his first splash hit, not I'm buying his jersey.
Oh no, it was always the splash hit.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I need
Good
I
on
need
you.
a fire up because
Yeah, I love the Korean Lee one. That's a
I
good
don't
one.
even know why it's not Korean on his jersey. Like J.H. Lee shouldn't have even existed. It should just be the Korean on his jersey and everyone that's made. I love it so much.
I think it should have been a giant arc that said grandson of the wind, because then it would have beat Albuquerque for the longest arc on the back of a jersey, right? Remember
Take care,
Albuquerque?
Daniel. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, his name was like, the number was here and the name like arced all the way down around.
What was there was a few that were. I mean, Yastrzemski's pretty much like that.
Yeah, his runs. I think they were talking about a game a couple weeks back where something went wrong and the equipment manager fucked up big time because his name was completely like crooked on the jersey. It didn't like balance from one side to the other, and they were like, man, they got to fire the guy who does the iron-ons. But yeah, well, look, Lance and I are doing a little quick hit and run next Wednesday, Thursday into Friday next week. So I'm going to try to hit up the Dugout store and pick up my home orange while I'm there.
Wait, you're coming back up?
Yeah, because we're coming to get my dad's old truck. Lance is taking my dad's old truck. So
why didn't you stay? Oh, because you have to drive up with him.
Yeah,
to have two cars.
I got to go pick him up, and then we're going to drive up, and we're going to go hit the Dead Lot DIY in Santa Rosa, and he wants to get a little skating and filming done. There's a pool right up the road, and yeah.
Nice. I was wondering, since we were going to have a guest tonight from Boston who's living in it's 90 degrees and your Wi-Fi goes out, that you got a problem back east, bro. But what if we throw the link out there and see if anybody wants to jump on for a little bit before we cut out?
Sure,
you
why
got
not?
a little bit of time?
Yeah, why not? Does somebody come on and roast us?
Maybe Ibrahim will want to come on. Or the recovery. We got Babe Rocks out there. Anthony, he's always good for some flapping. But if anybody wants to, there's the link, and we're going to probably be on for just a little bit longer. Maybe we'll wrap it up around 6 or something. But if you guys want to come on, we don't do this that often. So come on and make us proud so we do it again. But yeah, have we looked at what's going on with the Dodgers and the Padres? They're not starting until later, right?
Yeah, it's a night game, which is weird for a Thursday. I don't know. They haven't played yet. And basically I'm just kind of looking at the overall standings. Giants are 5-5 in their last 10. That's got to change. They were in the positive column just a couple of games ago, and it's kind of like rough. Diamondbacks are sitting at 37-37. Padres are at 39-34. Giants are at 42-33, and Dodgers are 46-29. So yeah, still hanging in there, 9 games over.
Hey babe, if that means you can only do audio, that's fine. We don't have access to telephones if that's what you mean. But if you want to call in audio wise, you don't have to be on video screen if you don't want to or don't have that capability. Who's winning the AL East?
Who's winning the AL East right now? The Yankees are up. Just a little bit in front of
who's gonna win it?
Who's gonna win it? I think the Rays could pass them up. I think it's possible.
You think?
Yeah. I think it's possible.
If Boston they do that, they're going to keep Bichette, right?
I think they're going to keep Bichette anyways. I think it would require a massive package to get him at this point. Because, look, they signed Vladdy for, that big, long extension. So, like, why wouldn't they keep Bichette? They're kind of integral parts of that team, right? I think all the other parts are interchangeable. But those two guys, lose either one of those guys, it's not the same team.
I'm rooting for Tampa, just to be clear. Imagine Tampa goes to the playoffs and they play the Yankees in the Yankees AAA stadium. That'd
That
be
would be good.
phenomenal.
That would be
Yeah.
good. Hey, listen, the Rays are close, man. They're only 2 games back, right?
Yeah.
And they're what? They're 8 games over 500. So
What's
it's
going
not
on with the Orioles? Geez, they just fell off.
bottoming out. And see, that's the thing is like I was telling you little while back, it's like Baltimore could have a fire sale. They could be unloading some of this really good young talent, especially guys who have underperformed this year.
I
But
don't see Adley though. That's crazy.
no, that was well. See, but that's a big target. Like it's I don't know. The baseball media is always looking for that blockbuster news that they want to report on. So, oh, look at that.
Here we go, kids.
We got somebody
We got
in
a
the
caller.
house.
Let's go to line 3. Babe Rocks, you're on. Babe, welcome to the show.
Yo, it's Greg and Smitty. I love it, man. This is
What's
so
up,
cool.
dude?
This is my first time on a show, guys. So thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
Hype to
Welcome.
do. Give me your first impressions when you heard the news that the Giants got Rafael Devers.
I was very good. It was, I think, Saturday, right? That, or is it Friday?
I think it was Sunday.
It was Sunday.
Yeah, it was. I think it was Saturday. So I was preparing for church, and when I seen the news on YouTube, I believe they flashed it because it happened so fast, and I was shocked because Devers is he's very popular in Boston. You know, like for Buster to pull that off was just amazing. I mean, he's a genius. The team probably needs maybe one more dude, and this team is complete. I don't know if it's Eldridge coming up or if Buster is making another move, but Buster's really into his position. I really dig that. You could tell that he's having fun doing it. He really loves San Francisco Giants. He really wants to win, and that to me and for everyone else on the SF Giants fan is probably on alert. Like we are seeing what Buster's doing. So the magic is there, and we just need to be patient for it to like lay it all out for everyone.
Yeah, I think I said it earlier, but when you got Clayton Kershaw commenting on it in the middle of a game, like the news just happened, and he's like, "Whoa, Buster's doing good things." I want that soundbite, you know? It's like, wow, okay,
exactly. Cool. You know, it wouldn't. I said it before on another show. I won't mention their name on this show, but
I
remember mentioning that Buster is gonna make spectacular moves. No one believed. Like everyone was pigeonhole him as Farhan, and he's nowhere near what Farhan was doing. You know, Buster is
Buster's a winner.
Fences. So I mean, if he wanted to trade for Bryce Harper, he probably could do it.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, the thing I think about Buster is it's similar to Adamas. He's in a new position. He's trying to figure it all out. He didn't come in there with experience. He's not like a veteran in this area. So he's dabbling, getting his feet wet. And once he's really in position, look out. I mean, this guy's a proven winner. He's got a great reputation. People love him. So if there's a question of like, do I want to play for this guy? The answer is yes, clearly.
Exactly. Everyone wants to play for Buster. It's not going to be this year, but watch. Come next season or the season afterwards, everyone in the whole MLB league is going to want to come to San Francisco Giants and play for Buster Posey. He's that good.
Yeah, it's a difference maker. And I think what's really amazing, too, is that ownership was extending him the confidence to allow him to go out and make the Devers deal, right? Like they let him go out and get Adames, and that was all great, and we were all psyched on it. And we figured like, okay, that's probably the only really big move they're going to make this year. And then he does this, and I mean, he doesn't do it without ownership's blessing, right? They had to give him that leash to do that, and I think that shows how much they believe in what he can do and how he connect with players and attract players to come to the city. So yeah, it's the beginning of a whole new era, man. For sure.
I totally agree with you, Christian. And you guys, both of you guys are right. I'm not trying to disparage any other shows, but what upsetted me with the other shows was they were on the positive tip at first, and then all of a sudden they switched up. I don't know if they were trying to get more clicks or views or more audience, but that's just doing in service for the Giants because it's if you're a true fan, I mean you can kind of see what Buster's doing, and there's no bad intentions. It's not like Farhan where we're all upset about Farhan. Buster's totally different. He did a total 360 with the team. I think everyone on this segment was on board that Buster was going to do good, and he has. So I haven't disagreed with you guys, but I've disagreed with the other shows where they were on Buster, and I'm like, this is Buster's first year. We
Yeah,
didn't
cut
even
him,
start the season yet.
cut him
Now the
some
season
slack.
started. We're in like a quarter deep into the season, and the Giants are doing very well. I feel that they will make the playoffs. I feel they're going to do damage in the playoffs with this team.
Yeah, look
It's
out.
it's energy. It's all about energy, momentum, chemistry. The chemistry is not there yet. We just got Devers, so we got to be patient and let everything percolate.
Yeah.
I think Buster may do one more move. I may be wrong, but or he may wait for that next move next year. Who knows? But he set it up where he can get other players like, hey, look what we got. You want to come to a winner? We got some players. So and Buster will sign some really great players. It wouldn't surprise me if he got Bryce Harper or someone like. He's that good. He's gonna get that
Wow.
good.
That's gonna cost a pretty penny.
I know. I would love Bryce Harper, but I think they're gonna get someone like a mid player that is very good, but not as well known or as known to baseball. Baseball enthusiasts. But yeah, I mean, Bryce Harper is a stretch, but I'm just saying that if he did talk to Bryce Harper, Bryce Harper would listen. I'll say that.
He might. I mean, things haven't been all that smooth in Philly in terms of them,
You hear about Castellano?
They haven't won a World Series. And here's the other thing, babe, that I don't think too many people are really looking at is that even with the Devers signing, the Giants are still about 10 million under the competitive, the tax, right? So at the trade deadline, if Buster wanted to go out and get a better than middle of the pack player, a pitcher or a hitter, they've got the ability to give some cash considerations in a trade, right? It doesn't have to be just like a player for player trade. So
true.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling he's not done. I have a feeling they're going to try to reinforce the squad a little bit more before the deadline or right at the deadline.
I agree with you, Christian.
Yeah, look. Right now, they are postseason bound with their record and the way that they're capable of playing. I know that they've had a few little fits and starts here and there, but overall, I love this team. I love the guys that are on it. I feel like there's really good chemistry there, and I think the chemistry is of the nature that a guy like Devers coming in isn't going to upset the apple cart. The scenario that you had in San Diego when you had, Soto and Machado and Tatis, you just had too many giant superstar egos and the chemistry sucked, right? In San Francisco, you got a bunch of, blue collar type guys and you got some veteran stars and now you got Devers, who's like a true superstar. I don't think he's going to be a bad influence on the chemistry. I think he's just going to blend right in. I think it's going to be really good,
And look, I want to add to what you were saying, babe. Let me add to what you were saying earlier, though, about the whole thing. Yeah, it's you guys are talking about how people are jumping on Buster or whatever. Buster's been in the organization as the POBO for 8 months right now. He's made 2 huge moves. He got the best shortstop available in the offseason, and now he got one of the best players, one of the best hitters in all of baseball. I don't understand how people don't remember this, but Christian had to go to Costco to buy cases of toothpaste to get Farhan and Gabe Kapler taste out of his mouth. Like that shit was there for a while, and Buster's already made us forget about those guys. So that alone, whatever he did with the team, just the fact that we aren't thinking about those guys anymore means that we've moved on and we're doing better. And for my psyche every morning to not have to think about that, I applaud the man. And how many 28 jerseys are out in the crowd now? Last night I just took a look and I'm like, oh my God, there's like 4 Devers jerseys already. Jung Hoo Lee's probably the leader, but it's great, man. There's Webb jerseys, there's Chapman jerseys. Like, you're starting to see a fan base appreciate these guys now. And that just wasn't happening like 2 to 3 years ago.
I totally agree. I'm glad that Buster can bring back that energy. I'm still, watching the Giants, following them, make sure that they're exceeding expectations this year. Again, I don't know about you guys. I'm sure you guys do agree. I have a great feeling that the Giants will push through in the playoffs. I think they're going to have a good run. Just really depends on Bomel but Bomel's there too. He looks like he wants to win as well. Gauging him. Disappointed with the 4-game loss. With the Cleveland and the Dodgers, but they broke it today. But again, that's why I'm holding back because I'm still I want them to do well. I'm not gonna talk until maybe after All Stars, but
where do you live,
so far,
babe?
I like what Buster's doing. Yes.
Where do you live?
Yes, sir. I'm in Daly City, guys.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
How many games do you go to? Do you get out to the ballpark?
I do every once in a while. I do want to. I wanted to go. All right. I wanted to go the Rockies at Denver because I wanted to take an Amtrak train back just to see the Rocky Mountains. It was like it's a thing.
That would be nice.
But I wanted to do something like that. I do want to go to SF, obviously, to watch a few games. So we'll see what's up. I mean, I'd like to hang out with you guys or whatever. Even Hum Baby if he goes down there too. So I'm a huge baseball fan. I'm a Giants fan. Been a Giants fan
watching
since 1984.
Okay, you watch them on TV and stuff if you're not at the game, though, right? You're following. I mean, I see you all the time in the chat, so I'm guessing you're a diehard, following the stats, following the game, looking at the great.
Absolutely, yeah. But you know what? I haven't went out to the ballpark like I used to.
You there?
But I mean, who knows?
Oh. Well, babe, thanks for joining us. We got one more caller and then we got to call it a night, but we'll do this again. So now that you've done it, you can do it again and we'll make some space at the end of shows to connect with you guys. This is fun. Online too, we got the birthday boy. This guy's going to bring in a lot of energy. So drink a sip of coffee, guys, because we got Robert DeVille.
Hey, guys. How you guys doing?
Hey, Robert.
How you guys doing, man?
We're
That was
great.
Today showed that they never gave up. People in the past teams in the past years that we went through with these struggles, people were like, "Oh shoot, we're gone. We're out the door in the 5th inning because they can't hit. They can't, they're having troubles with the bases, getting people on base, getting people picked off. They overcame adversity today because Webb was throwing a gem, and he hung in there. Most pitchers get frustrated. He just stayed calm. He alerted, he kept Bailey under control. Bailey laid that bunt down. Moving runners like that in the late innings helps us get runs. Can get runs in the late push.
Oh yeah, it's huge, man. And Webb's so used to not getting run support that he's going to be a bulldog no matter what's going on in the game, right? And we always expect good stuff out of Webb. I mean, every once in a while he has a hiccup game, but man, he's nails, right? I mean,
when he's on, he's on.
Yeah, he's our leader too. I mean, he's more than just a player. He's in the clubhouse being he's got the Buster in him. He's got the connection from that era to this era.
Yeah, and then I think Devers is going to bring a big boost this weekend. I mean, he's even though he had a slow struggle, but I mean, he's coming around. He'll be amped up.
First Giants home run against his ex-team. I'm calling it right now.
Yep. It could end up in the Bay.
I hope so. If it goes in the Bay, I'm getting a jersey. You know that.
But yeah, but if he can take that approach and just, you know what, I'm here with the Giants now. I'm over the past. Let's get dialed in and go.
Yep. Yep.
Because
Yeah.
I think a lot of it, because I talk to Ramos a lot because we know each other. I mean, I know Matos real well. I know all those young guys because I am a season ticket holder for San Jose. And we talk. I mean, I get autographs. They go, "Hey, Robbie, you don't need to, you can go do your thing and I'll get you next time." So, people like that, I have a lot of heart with the Giants, and I have a lot, like you guys. You guys are like family to me, between all the sports channels. I mean, I never, this is the best moment for me.
Oh, hell
To
yeah.
hang with you guys and hang out with the crew. And Christian, you're doing a great job. You guys are doing a great job with this, and continue to grow.
Dude.
Thanks, man. No, we're
your birthday,
psyched
right?
you're here. Yeah.
Saturday.
Tomorrow or day after tomorrow, my bad.
I told Kai, I follow you after my birthday, but I'm younger than you. And he started cracking up.
That's good. Yeah, it was
But, I
his
mean,
75th today.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna get going. And then I had another thing that they can do too is Suarez in Arizona. I know we got to go real quick, but Suarez in Arizona, if you can get him, because he's a third baseman, if you can get him to play second, back up Fitz, back up those guys, get them in the lineup, get the order going, we're rolling. Just like with any other guys, we're rolling though.
Oh, if they had Suarez at second base, that'd be nuts.
Communicate though, the communication. It's all about communication.
And
so Will Clark will be there. Will Clark will be there tomorrow.
Oh, will he?
Yeah, because it's autism night too.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
He's coming. He was flying. I'll tell you later. But he was flying from Cunning. Because I talked to his son Trey. So they'll be at the yard tomorrow.
Tell the viewers what you do, because you're down there in Saratoga, right, with the baseball.
I'm over here at West Valley College. I help out. In fact, our manager is a former big leaguer, Bobby Hill. We just won the NorCal region, but we ended up losing our state championship for the JUCO baseball playoffs. Over at West Valley College. And if you guys are ever down here this year or coming up years, you can always come by and I can always show you a tour. I mean, our field's like a baseball field. I mean, I can send Greg and Christian pictures. I mean, it's phenomenal.
Wow. Nice. And what do you do?
I help them. I coach.
Oh, nice.
I'm the Juan Wotus on the bench.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
That rules, dude.
So Robert, are you gonna get out to any of the Boston games at the?
I'm going
yard?
Tomorrow.
Awesome.
I'm going tomorrow.
Yep.
Awesome.
I've seen Greg a lot and a lot of the other guys. I've seen them a lot. I go to all the games that I can.
So Eric's coming tomorrow too, huh?
Yeah. Now you can, Greg, Christian, you can give him. I have my number to Greg, so you can call me if you ever want to go. I'll send you tickets too.
Cool, thanks, man. Yeah, when I'm in town, I'm actually in Southern California, but I get up there and get to a few games every year. Today? Yeah, they're going after all the crazy gangs out in Elysian Park and out by Dodger
and it messed
Stadium.
Up their batting practice time.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. They were actually I guess the ICE people were using the Dodger Stadium parking lot as a staging to go into the neighborhoods because, dude, that's gang infested, that area. It's really gnarly. And I guess the Dodgers organization didn't like that, and made a big stink.
Yeah, and then one other thing too is I have a big buddy over at on the Kansas City Royals, Chris Bubik. He's actually a lefty. He's actually, he wanted it. He's born in Bay Area. He's a giant, he's a giant diehard fan, but even though he's in Kansas City, but he'll love to come here. And I was actually talking to Evans last week, and I said, hey man, if you need a lefty, go grab him. I mean, he's cheap.
He actually did pretty well. Dude, he did pretty well against the Giants when he faced them this year, right?
Yeah.
Well, look what he did against the Yankees. He shut the Yankees down in the Texas.
Right.
Just shut out Bochy.
Right.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
thanks for having me on. I love coming here. I mean, whatever you guys need, just let me know. I love the support.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It's always good seeing your smile out at the ballpark. I always
Oh,
look
I
over and
showed
there you are. I'm like, oh, there he is. He made it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. I mean, I go to I love autographs. I love talking to those guys. Those guys.
Yeah.
are
Did you see this one I got?
Yeah. I was
So,
right behind. I was like 10 feet behind you.
oh, really?
Yeah.
I was so stoked. I've had that card for a little while. It's the broken bat. I just love that card. And then there was Dwayne. Boom, got him.
But yeah,
real quick before we go, give us your take on Rafael Devers being on the Giants and Kyle Harrison, Bay Area kid, maybe the futuristic with Tibbs and the guys we lost. Like, how do you weigh this out?
what it comes down to, like, even though that they're part of us, they're part of our future. It came down to Buster Posey being, you know what, we need to go right now. Let's go get a bat. Let's go get Devers. Let him soak. Let him soak it in, because down the road and the agents, like the trade deadline, who knows where this guy would have been. He could have been in San Diego. He could have been all over these. Buster means now. He talks to all those guys. Buster means now, because he has a heart of a giant and he's a champion. You can never take that away from him. You can't take champions away from being what Buster does. And the key thing too was having Bobby Evans look over his shoulders too while he's doing this.
And probably Sabian a little bit.
I think Sabian, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, right now, I think it was Evans to say, "Yeah, you know what? You want to go? Go."
Yeah.
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
It was
Losing Harrison. It may. I mean, it's not going to be a Zach Wheeler.
Right.
It ain't going to be a Zach Wheeler.
No.
I mean, Harrison. He was a great guy. He's from Davis out. I mean, he's great. He's phenomenal. But he'll be back. He's going to have fun in Boston. He'll learn. But it's a business right here. We got to win.
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%. And you got to give something to get something, right? All these people that want to give away trash to get gold, they're just crazy.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I'll see you tomorrow. It's going to be a sick 3 games. We got the Red Sox coming to town, and Devers I bet he's taking a little extra batting practice out there and saying, oh, yeah, we're going deep on your asses.
He hungry.
Yeah. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. But Christian, let him know, and I'll give you tickets, man.
Yeah, thanks, Robert. And thanks for coming on with us, man. It's great to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
Go
Giants.
Go Giants.
It's sweet coming. We're gonna feel it, Cora.
Yeah. Thanks, Robert.
Coming to our house.
That's right.
Well, there you have it, kids. We had some guests on today, which was really fun. We should do that more often. Thanks, Robert, and thank you, Babe Rocks. And if you guys have suggestions, you know what to do. skatesonbase@gmail.com. We're on social media, on Instagram. We're on X. We're on Facebook. We're not on TikTok. We're not on a bunch of things, but we are on some things, right? And we got some cool products if you ever want to support. We got some hats, the beanie like I'm wearing. We got some t-shirts. Christian made these really cool Jung-Hoo Lee and Mark the Shark logos and stuff. So go down to the text underneath here, and there's a link to the store if you want to check out what we got cooking over there. And as always, spread the love and tell people what we're doing, and hopefully we can get more people and continue these conversations about the black and orange, which we love.
Yeah. Well, right on. Get primed up for the Red Sox coming into town, and I have a feeling Devers is going to light it up. Just has that feel. So
his first home run as a Giant is going to come against the Red Sox. It has to. Like, he's already writing the story right now. He's like, and then I hit home run.
Yeah. And it should be the first at bat too. How poetic would that be? You just step up there and just be like, yeah, there it went.
Do we know
Very
who's
good.
pitching tomorrow? It has to. We have to know, right?
I could
What do we
take a
got
quick look.
here? Friday, June 20th. Who do we got? Oh, Dobbins. I don't know Dobbins. 4-1 with a 3.74 versus Birdsong. That's gonna be fun. It's gonna
Yep.
be fun, and thank
Yeah.
God it's not on Apple TV.
Yeah, oof, dude. That whole ESPN, anything but, you know, NBC Sports Bay Area is just a drag. So we'll
Do it,
see.
babe. We would appreciate you. Look, we got to get going. I got some dinner to eat, and Christian does too, probably. But yeah, thank you guys. We'll be back. I got a little interview I'm putting together that I did with Kelly Hart, who lives down in LA. He's a Dodger fan, and he works for the 9 Club, which is a big skateboarding podcast, and he also is pro skater and does stuff for Emerica and S Shoes. So look for that. That'll be just a drop. It's not live. It's just an interview I'll be dropping sometime. But Christian and I will definitely be back Sunday at the latest for the wrap up on the Red Sox. Hopefully I'll have my broom behind me, and we'll see you then. Peace out, guys.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Skaters on Baseball. If you liked what you heard, please spread the word, give us a good review, or hell, blow us up on your social media if you're down. Follow us at Skates on Base on Instagram for baseball news and other fun stuff. We love comments and listener participation, so bring it with an audio clip or an email. You can email us at skatersonbase@gmail.com. We're everywhere you get your podcasts, and we'll be here all season long.
Let's go, San Francisco. Let's go, Giants.
Dude, that was one of the most mind-blowing shows I've seen to this day.
Much love. See you soon. Thank you.
And I am forever a Giant.